Hello everybody. Today I want to go over the Pure Vanilla Ascended, the best way to build them, the way to build Pure Vanilla optimally. What fun words we're using today. So Pure Vanilla's release has been a big one, and the things that we're going to be looking for is what toppings to use, what Beascuit substats you want, and generally also what kind of team you want to build around him for PvE and PvP. So now starting off with what kind of toppings and Beascuit we're going to use. Now we got to take in mind what Pure Vanilla's skill does. Now for example, as you guys can see here, the higher Pure Vanilla Cookie's damage resist stat, the stronger cooldown buff he will receive at the beginning of the battle. His regular attacks will heal up to 5 targets and increase their amplified buff. So Pure Vanilla directly stacks with damage resist, attack, and HP. And it basically, because the more HP he has, the more he can heal, the higher his attack, the more he heals, and the more cooldown he has, the more he can use his skill. When you're making Pure Vanilla, you gotta understand that his top thing is survivability. Nothing matters more than keeping him alive. So with that said, I have one set of toppings for him, only one, full almond. Now I have seen some people go with almond and the peanut are the HP toppings, whereas almond is just damage resist. But me personally, I just go with damage resist with as much damage resist substats as I can get. As you guys can see, we got like 4.8, 5.6, 5.7. Really just went for as much as possible. Now, if you can get cooldown on these as well, that'd be ideal because, you know, you really want to be able to use that skill as often as possible. I've had a lot of higher ranking arena fights where it just comes down to Pure Vanilla just out healing my team. So when it comes to the toppings, you really want to try to go for those damage resist Beascuit toppings. But if you find yourself in a position where you want to try something else, you could try peanuts with damage resist mixed in as well. So now with the Beascuit, it's going to be a similar story. 2 damage resist, 2 cooldown. Really, that's all you want to focus on when it comes to him, because it's really a key point of just keeping him alive so he can get this big scale off. Because with how useful Pure Vanilla's healing is, honestly, in PvE and PvP, you really don't need any other person on the team to heal, at least. So now let's go ahead and look at a good PvE team that's been working. So this is a team that I've been running with a good bit for the hard mode for chapter 7 and 8 Beast East. Now I plan on releasing a video of clearing those 2 on hard here soon, because this team has worked for some of them, but I haven't tested it out for all of them. But this is a good team, and I want to show you guys a few examples of how you can use different cookies to get the same result and why. So now what this team really does is just Pure Vanilla healing team alive, Stormbringer and Dark Cacao keeping the damage off while dealing damage, and then these 2 as the big damage dealers. Now these are all some rare cookies, so let's go in with a strictly epic team surrounding Pure Vanilla. Now let's get rid of Beast, Legendary, and Super Epic. And Rare, Ancient, and Dragon. Sometimes I forget how many other rarities there are. So if I was looking at this team trying to build a team around Pure Vanilla for story mode, so my top priority, off bat, Creme Brulee. Because to fill in that Wind Archer role that is now gone, we want to go with Creme Brulee. So now we're going to also want somebody to keep the damage off. Now, I actually really enjoy Strawberry Crepe Cookie, but there are better defensive cookies, especially with Killer K, Koig Amen Cookie. I can never say that, so I always call her Killer K. I think it's a much better nickname too. So what I would really do is put Killer K up there as like a defensive cookie, and then you could try to go with like a double support, but this is Beast East hard mode, so we really want to make sure we're going with a good team. So we're going to want to have something that can apply some debuffs. Snow Sugar with his magic candy, a very good cookie that can provide stuns, debuffs, and overall survivability to the team. So now we've got damage, we've got a good amount of defense, so now we want to throw in a little bit more. And I think with a little bit more, we can throw in Twizzly. Twizzly's a really good damage cookie, and this kind of fits in the pattern that we got earlier with the legendary team, but with rare cookies. And they mean that when Archer gets replaced by Creme Brulee pretty dang well. Shadow Milk Cookie hard to replace, but we got our friend Snow Sugar here who does it pretty well. Twizzly does the stunning role of Stormbringer and Dark Cacao pretty well, and then she just keeps the damage off. Now the thing that I really want is just to build around Pure Vanilla, a strong defensive cookie for PvE, and then damage dealers. If you're having trouble with that defensive cookie staying alive, you can take out one of the damage dealing cookie, like let's say Twizzly in this scenario, honestly. I would take out Twizzly for PvE and story mode, and then I put in like another defensive cookie. You can put in like Wild Berry up there. It's just to help build the survivability on the team. You gotta consider what your goal is and what you're having trouble with, and try to diagnose that, if you know what I mean. So then let's get to PvP. So in terms of PvP, and you are going to see this team absolutely everywhere. This is basically the current meta. So I went over this in my arena video that I talked about the team that helped me get the Grandmaster. So what we're going to be looking at here is a similar team to the story mode. Now that just shows how good Shadow Milk and Wind Archer are, that the fact they're the meta for 2 different modes. But we're going to want to have Golden Cheese and Elder Fairy as well. See, this is the thing. It's the same logic. Pure Vanilla is good enough that you can really just toss him on a team with nothing but damage dealers and 1 tank, and he will keep everyone alive. Now, when it comes to building this team, I go more into detail about it on my arena video, so make sure you check that out. But just to go over quickly, on Elder Fairy, we have cooldown toppings with a focus on cooldown and damage resist with HP Beascuit. Shadow Milk, we just got a lot of damage with, this is supposed to be a damage resist Beascuit. I changed it for a guild battle, but a lot of damage with damage resist bypass. And then same case with Golden Cheese, you want a lot of damage with damage resist bypass. Same with Wind Archer, you're gonna want a lot of damage and damage resist bypass. But then Pure Vanilla, as we mentioned earlier, with the toppings, you're gonna want to go with damage full almond and the Beascuit itself. What this team allows you to really do is Elder Fairy boost the team with his prismatic shard alongside Pure Vanilla and his skill, team leader, and more. And then it's just really a matter of boosting the HP shields, keeping the team alive, and from there just going at it. Now when it comes to this team, there are a few counters in the current arena meta, so keep in mind. But honestly, if you are able to properly build this team, or I should honestly just say properly use Pure Vanilla to his most, you'll get pretty far. Now there are a few different teams, such as replacing Wind Archer with Stormbringer, or adding Crimson Coral to the front, but overall Pure Vanilla is always a staple. Now really there's no healer that's better than him in this game now. Before he ascended there were a few, but now it's just really like not much of a competition. So really just build that man up. If you guys have any questions, make sure to leave a comment below and I'll do my best to get back to you. Till the next time.